Hey guys, so let's talk about codes. So what you're seeing is my holy grail of codes. So this is a sheet that I actually have printed off. Here it is. I have a nice little sleeve protector, and I keep it in my Gear Up binder. So this is where I keep like hard copies of all my paperwork or like my student list. And I just keep this right in here so that if I'm ever doubting or questioning what code I can use, I can reference this because this will answer pretty much every question you have. So this is uploaded in your box under the Documents tab. So I highly, highly recommend printing it, putting it on your wall, on your computer, anything that you can reference it easily because it's very, very helpful, okay? So I'm gonna go through just a few of them with you, just things that are hard to know when to use what. So first one I wanted to talk about is AE. So AE is ACT. This is when you are helping a kid register for the ACT. You are helping with ACT prep. This is when you're even administering the ACT as a proctor, okay? So this is just ACT. If you're talking about anything else, you will never use this code, okay? So that's AE. Now let's drop down to FA. So FA is your money code. This is when you're working hands-on. So that's right here, providing hands-on assistance. So this is when you're helping and sitting down with a student and you're going through the FAFSA with them. This is when you have a kid with a scholarship essay, or what do I put on the scholarship for this? Okay. So this isn't necessarily used when you're like, hey, scholarship, right? Because that's not necessarily hands-on. This is when you're sitting down physically with them. Okay, this is when you're physically working with money. So that's generally used mainly with your seniors, okay? A lot of these codes we don't use very often, like we don't do life plan. It's very rare for us to do a job shadowing. College visit, that one's pretty self-explanatory. Again, that is when you are on campus, okay? Not when you're planning it or talking about it, that's when you're physically there. Okay, let's talk about ME. We are not mental health counselors. We are not mental health therapists. We are not anything like that. However, we do more of like a job, like a counseling coaching, probably not the best wordage there, but we're like coaches in that sense. So if we have a kid that comes in and they just are having a hard day and they just are like, you know what, I'm overwhelmed because I can't get my homework done. I'm overwhelmed because I'm getting behind. This is where you can step in and say, hey, let's get you caught up. Then we can kind of figure out a plan of what can we do to manage your time better? Do you need help rearranging your schedule? Have a set time to do homework? Or a kid comes in, I'm super stressed about I'm not smart enough to do college classes, and this is where you can tell we just need to figure out a game plan for something that fits your needs. So hopefully that distinction makes sense. So that is what ME is, okay? You don't use it a ton. So I have a couple kids that my counselors have asked me to just check on and be friends with. So if I see one in the hall, I'm like, dude, what's up? How's it going? How are classes? And so every day I make that attempt. So a lot of times there isn't a whole lot of like content to our conversation, but it's me building that relationship with them. And so in those situations, I put ME, okay? So we'll keep coming down. Summer programs, surveys. If you do like a FAFSA night, this is a workshop that you would use, WO. Okay, parent codes are different than student codes, which is why we have them on the bottom here. So rule of thumb, 99.99999% of the time, you'll probably be using CO. This is kind of like our AP of the student codes, the AP up here. This is like the all-inclusive, I don't know what else to put, so this will probably cover it code, okay? So this is when you're talking with a kid, advising them, anything like that. So right here, this is when a parent or guardian or adult family member meets up with Gear Up staff, counselor, with or without the student to discuss their plans, their goals, their progress, okay? So that one's generally like if you have a parent email you, say, hey, are you willing to help us fill out this FAFSA? We really need to get the parent portion done. Yes, that's when you could put AP, okay? So, and you can see they don't have as many codes for parents as the students do. So those are pretty much easier to kind of distinguish what you would use there. So one thing that is not on this sheet is RA. RA is rigorous academics. So rigorous academics is pretty much anything that is above the basic core stuff. So if you have a kid doing concurrent enrollment, if you have a kid in like an AP class, if you have a kid in college, rigorous just means challenging, it means harder. So we are really encouraged to use this code because a lot of our purpose as our grant is to help our kids to take rigorous courses, to show that they can handle that they can go on when we want them to succeed. So try and remember it. I know that that's not on the sheet, so that's just something you'll have to kind of keep in your head. If you print this off, you can just even write it down on one of the sides in the margin, just so that way it's a good reminder for you. Hopefully this helps. I know sometimes codes can be frustrating, but please don't let them. We want this to be just very straightforward. So print off the sheet, put it somewhere you can reference it often. Okay, thanks guys.